Many of you who spend a lot of time on the internet, I'm quite sure you're familiar with this TEDx concept. Well, that has come to Trinidad and Tobago, and we have two charming young people who are with us now and going to tell us more about that. Closest to me, Mr. Cheyenne Batiste, and also with us, Jamila Moonsami, and they're both organizers with TEDxPortofSpain. Welcome to both of you. Thank you very much for being here this morning. I used to look at a lot of these TEDx things on the interwebs there, and they always feature people with very interesting, brilliant concepts, and it's put forward and condensed in an easily digestible fashion. And I assume that this is precisely what you hope to do in Trinidad and Tobago. Perhaps, Cheyenne, would you like to start by telling us a bit about how this got started?
Well, basically, this is our third TEDx event. It started in 2011, and we started with the theme, Changing Conversations. It came to a point where it was really important that we start to begin positive change, and it begins with the conversations. And following that, the first event was really successful, and we had another event last year, and that theme was courage. We spoke about courage, and it came again in time with the things that were going on in our society, especially in Trinidad and Tobago. And this year, the theme is connecting.
Okay. Yeah. And Jamila, how did we manage to bring this process of communication to Trinidad? Or is it like a virus? It just spreads eventually?
Yeah, somewhat like that. We use a lot of social media to spread the whole idea of TEDx and what it's about. You know, it's about ideas where it's spreading, and we're very excited about this year's event and this year's theme, Connecting. Shine?
Yeah, it really is just about providing a platform for game changers and speakers and thinkers to speak, influence, challenge, even question our current way of thinking.
So you're able to find people like that here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so that's just joking. So tell us, who I remember I saw Suniti Maraj, who is a columnist with the Express newspaper, but also she's a very long-time media practitioner. I saw one with her, but tell me some of the other people who you're able to attract to this project.
Well, this year's quite exciting. We actually have Dr. Wayne Kubal-Singh as one of the speakers.
Well, up to now, we'll see what happens after today, but go ahead.
We also have Attila Springer, who's also a columnist at The Guardian. We have Etienne Charles, jazz musician. Yeah, we just have several. We actually want you to experience that with us.
Yeah, we have people like Stacey Marie Ishmael and Etienne, Earl Rahman Narunha. He teaches and practices permaculture.
Permaculture. Actually, I spent quite a bit of time out at his place. Out there in Freeport. So I'm very familiar.
Yeah, I mean, he's won agricultural awards in forestry, etc. And you have people like Deborah Lewis, who's a midwife, and she has led the way to the formation of the Association of Trinidad and Tobago Midwives, and she's leading the way in that field as well. And we have really great speakers this year, and we're really excited.
What has the reception been to the idea? Is it getting traction? Are people really interested?
Absolutely, and that's part of the reason why we're continuing that momentum. And in fact, we're actually thinking ahead for next year's TEDx event. So the first two events were really successful, and the dialogue is still there on Facebook and all of our platforms of communicating.
How do you choose the people who you want to participate in this? Is there a screening committee, or how does it work?
Well, we actually invite people to send in their bios, and from there we have different categories. TED stands for Technology, Entertainment, and Design, so we have people that fall under that category as well. It's because it's grown so much, there's a broader scope, so people like who fall under environment or developmental issues or social issues, and from there we kind of start choosing to see how they've contributed to society and what kind of information they can bring to the table, and how they can make an impact on us.
Do you have any input in how these presentations are made? Because I think the signature of TEDx is that the presentation is generally very refreshing in the style of the format of delivery. So what you don't want is for somebody to come to a podium, morning.
It's a talk of your life, a talk of your life. You have I don't know, how much minutes do we have?
18 minutes per speaker, and we're open. I mean, some people actually perform as part of their talk.
Okay.
So it's really about engaging in a dialogue that is unique.
Right, don't worry, they get practice and training before the actual event.
Or you have people who will provide that
Yes.
training to prevent them to present them how they present themselves on stage
Yes,
and
of
live.
course, yes.
Okay.
Yes, we do
Now
that.
this is of course recorded. I think a friend of mine has done the work. Ravin Ramkissoon. Okay, right.
Yeah.
So it's being recorded and it's put on the internet there?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, sir.
But where does the actual event take place? Is it a public forum where people could come and
Yes, it's actually at the Central Bank Auditorium on November the 30th. It starts at 9:30 a.m. You actually have to get a ticket beforehand.
Right.
So it's first come, first served. It's a two-step process. You have to go online on the website, TEDxPortofSpain.com. You fill out a form. I mean, there are questions like, have you ever been to the event? Why have you heard about the event? We just want to get to know about our attendees a little bit more. And then once that's completed, you reserve a ticket for 2 weeks. And within those 2 weeks, you have to purchase a ticket. It's $400.
I think I could get a passport easier than that. You know? why is
No.
there all this? Why you have to go through all this hoopla to get a ticket?
Well, TEDx.
You want a discerning type of audience? You
No.
want
No, it's not limited at all. We actually welcome anybody who is interested. But TEDx is a like-minded event, and it's a really special event. And so we just want to make sure that we live up to the theme and the mission, which is to engage in a constructive dialogue. So in order to do that, we would have to.
What is the ultimate objective of putting all of these thoughts and ideas out there? Beyond just providing information, because I would imagine for me what TEDx did for me, looking at it I find it very inspirational.
Right, and that's exactly what we plan to do. We want to inspire people and we want to share knowledge and information. But I mean, in the future, we want it to be an event that can ignite development and change and creativity within our community. You know.
How does TEDx, at least in the Trinidad and Tobago context, how does it exist? How is it funded? Is there
We have sponsors.
Okay.
Yes, we have NH International and Neil and Matsy, who's our sponsors for 2 years now, and we have UTT, and we couldn't exist without them. You know, we are very grateful and appreciative of all of the support, not just our sponsors, but our attendees as well.
I would think that sponsors would be tripping over themselves to get involved in something like this, because exposure of the thinkers and the eventual doers in our society, these are the people who they would themselves want to be involved with their organizations. So this would work very well for them.
It would.
It's an investment as well.
It is. And we're still actually looking for sponsors, so if anybody's interested.
Well, perhaps CNC3 might.
Yeah, it's a great event.
So give me an idea, can you give me an idea of some of the topics that would be dealt with in this upcoming series?
Well, the theme is connecting. So because we have 6 confirmed speakers so far, they're each going to be nine speakers actually,
yes.
yeah. So it would involve technology, entertainment, design, but with a focus on how their story connects.
I'm particularly interested in the I should try to get out to the presentation on there, but I don't know how to use the internet there too much. But the presentation about technology, because we have access to the same, at this point, the same technology that exists everywhere else in the world, but we don't use it at the level that it is used at everywhere else in the world. It doesn't assist us in the structuring of our lives the way other people use it. For example, people use the iPad there primarily for photo taking. So I think that would be a very interesting presentation. I often read, I don't know if you read Mark Lindesay in the Guardian newspaper. I find his writing particularly useful for people who are technophobes like myself. So perhaps this is what this technological presentation could do for people who are not really technologically minded.
Yeah.
So again, you give us some background information on where people can get the more information. If you have a www.
Yes, we do. TEDxPortofSpain.com.
Right.
We're also on Facebook, so you can. Well, tickets went on sale yesterday, so get your tickets now.
What about?
It's $400.
Wow. Okay.
Well, you know what,
I didn't say no judgment.
No, but if you can't afford a ticket, when you actually fill out the form, you can request a discount. You know, we try to make it accessible to everyone, and we've never turned anyone away, so we try to accommodate everyone as much as possible.
No, I'm not making any judgments about that. I just say that because I balk at any figure over $50. But you have to look at that as an investment in your own education.
Right,
so
of course.
This can be something, if you're an entrepreneur and you go to one of these things, you come out of there infused with new energy, new ideas. You might find that you will get information or you will get ideas that will help you over a stumbling block that you'd been stuck on for a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an event that impacts your life in a positive way, and it's life lessons that you can take away and apply to your own life, you know, so it's very, I think it's
no price for that. I mean, I think what you definitely, as you said, what you get out of it is really stimulating, inspirational.
I think so. I think it's worthwhile. So this, and I'm very excited to see that it's two young people who are involved with this. It demonstrates that there are young people out there who, well, it doesn't demonstrate. It just shows the rest of the country that there are young people out there who are doing their part to contribute to the development of our society. And I think TEDx is a fantastic platform for that kind of thing. So you have your information there. I don't know if there's anything else, any other little contact information you want to give to people.
If you want, you can contact one of our team members, Latoya. She's amazing. So her number is 309-5664, and she will guide you through the process and answer any questions that you may have.
Okay, so that's Latoya. She's amazing at that number. Thank you both very much for joining us to chat this morning. It promises to be very interesting if I'm to go by what I've seen thus far, and I certainly have to take the time to try to get a ticket online there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Very much.
We'll take a short break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about tourism in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm not sure, I don't think the minister is going to be here, so all of the questions that I had for him, I'm going to lay on the people who are here, if they still come into the studio, that is. Stay with us, we'll be right back.